I'm sorry, y'all. I wasn't even on stage. I was just talking in the background and I wasn't on stage yet. We are discussing African men versus American men, and we are also going to talk about the. I was on somebody's live, and a lot of Americans were talking about how ratchet Africans are and dirty and nasty they are. So we're going to talk about that. If you would like to come up, there's a link in the chat, and I would appreciate if you would come up because I don't like being on this stage by myself. So let's start with the people that were saying Africans are ratchet and dirty and dusty and they're uncivilized. First of all, Africans are not necessarily uncivilized. Uncivilized to me means that you have chosen to conform to the rules. It means that, like I said in my video, ladies have to cross their legs and you can't burp at the table, even though your body needs to burp. You have to leave the table. If you got to pee, you have to be near a toilet, even though your body told you had to pee in the middle of nowhere where there were no bathrooms or they only had employee bathrooms. And so Africans are not inhibited like us. They will go in a bush and pee. They will squat and pee or whatever they have to do. They do eat with their hands. We have conformed to all the rules. We got to the point where we are eating French fries with forks and chicken fingers. We're cutting them up and eating those with forks. We want to eat with our hands so bad that they had to name it something, which is called finger food. That was the only way we could eat with our hands comfortably and it was socially accepted, is that they had to name it finger foods. So any comments or questions, please come up. Oh, excuse me. The floor is open. Also, if you are dating a African man or planning on it or want some information on it, we're talking about the difference between African men and American men. One of the differences in African men to me when I went to Africa is they don't allow you, they didn't allow me to open any doors where it was a car door, a business door, a house door. I wasn't allowed to carry a grocery bag or nothing like that. And then I get back to the US, and no matter whose car I'm in, they don't get out and open my car door. This man was in front of me at the store earlier. He opened the door and was letting it close. And then he thought about it and pushed the door back open, even though he saw me coming behind him. So that is a couple of differences between African men and American men. Any comments or questions? Again, if you would like to come up, the link is in the chat. I would appreciate it if you come up so I won't be up here by myself. So any comments or questions before I go on? Okay, again, the link is in the chat. The other difference in American men and African men is that they're very calm, they're very peaceful people. Like it's almost hard to get them angry. I've not heard any African man. I haven't seen an African man get angry at an African woman in public because one, they're very, very private people. They probably beat their wives after, I don't know, but in public, they're very calm people. When you come to America and you will see a man cussing his wife out in public, beating her up in public, calling her every name in the book in public. And I didn't see that when I was in Ghana. So again, any comments or questions? And if you would like to come up, the floor is open. I do have a situation here where the Wi-Fi keeps cutting off by itself. It keeps restarting its own self. If the live ends, then I will just end it and come back tomorrow. Again, any comments or questions? The floor is open. Let me see. I don't know if I can share this live. Does anybody know if I could? How long have you been married to an African man? Over 3 years, Erebus. I've been married to my husband over 3 years. Any more comments or questions? I was saying to somebody on a live that I remember being in Ghana and I was in a car and my driver was about 6 feet. And he stopped the car and I opened my car door and he stood on my car door and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Car." "You open the door." I said, "Because I want to get out." He said, "Don't ever open your door again. That's my job." And then you get over here and you don't get that. Like on the average, I'm sure it happens, but on the average, men don't open your car doors here. They don't open the door to the store or the house or nothing. So yeah, that is the difference I saw between African American men. Again, and come up, the link is in the chat. Are they more loving than American men? Absolutely. My husband is. The men that were around me were very loving and kind and comforting. DC Doctrine. Oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a minute. Thanks for coming in. Again, the link is in the chat if you would like to come up. Tony says, let me see. Tony says, it truly depends where in Africa the man is from. I'm specifically actually talking about Ghana and Nigerians because those are the only ones I've had encounters with either in Ghana or the US, but I've never been in Nigeria. I met all the Nigerians in the US. Let me paste the link again. God, this thing is copying everything I say. It truly depends on, hold on. DC Doctrine, have you dated an African man from any country? Anybody on here? You're welcome, Erebus. I'm trying to link the, hold on. Okay, so the link is in the chat. Now, the other subject I was discussing, that I was on somebody's live about 2 weeks ago, and they were bashing Africans, saying Africans are uncivilized, they're dirty, they're dusty, they're pissing and shitting outside, they don't have toilets, they don't have indoor showers. That's a lie. Ghanaians do have indoor toilets, running water, showers. They have everything the United States has. But some people choose to live in the village because that's their culture. And it's not even that they cannot afford to move out of the village. They just don't spend that type of money and they're loyal to their culture. Any comments or questions? It was saying that, hold on. Anybody that would like to come up, please click the link in the chat. Again, any comment? Would you like to come up? DC Doctor, which I would love to visit Ghana. Are you planning on visiting Ghana? It's a beautiful place to visit. It's not necessarily for everybody to live there, but it was good for me to live there. I enjoyed living in the village. I absolutely enjoyed Ghana. I had some hard times, some good times, some bad times, but nothing has ever happened where I never ever want to go back to Ghana. So I will be returning. Then I have land, a store, and a husband there. So I'm definitely going back. I'm gonna go back after the holidays. But as far as Africans not being civilized, like I said, being civilized to me is just the fact that we have learned to conform to the rules and regulations. And Ghana doesn't conform to that stuff. You know, they just don't. The only thing they conform to is speaking their colonizers' language. They beat English into their children. I'm scared to go alone as a single woman. I don't know why. Are you afraid to travel or fly? Are you afraid that something's going to happen to you? What are you afraid of traveling alone? And would you like to come up? Can you come up on stage? You don't have to show your face up here. I prefer to have a male escort. Okay, well, when you get to Ghana, you can definitely have a male escort. When you get to Ghana, you can have a tour guide. You come and tour you different places throughout the day, or you can pay a tour guide to stay with you the whole time. It's up to you. I'm working tonight. Otherwise, I join. I absolutely love showering outside. It was enclosed on all sides, but no roof. Yes, I never showered outside, but I have definitely taken their traditional bucket baths in the house. Times when our water was off. Ghana, the water goes off a lot. Not as much as the lights, but the water does go off. It goes off enough. So, any more comments or questions? Yes, Erebus. You can pay a somebody to stay with you. I'm an African American in New York City. Let me see. Hold on. I'm an African American in New York City and must say that Kenya living in Nairobi live a much higher quality of life than most in the US. Yes. Depending on what high quality of life means to you, people have said to me on in comments and on chats, like, why would you leave America and go to a lesser place or a place that's poor or a place that doesn't have anything? And I got to Ghana and it was a 10-day trip. Day 3, I decided to stay because I just loved what I saw. I saw Ghana as a beautiful place. The fruits and vegetables are all natural. When you go and buy fruits and vegetables, they're dirty, just like they come off the tree or out of the ground. You have to clean them. They're not pretty and polished, and they have no pesticides on them. So, like I said, whatever you think is a higher quality of life is, what you choose. I haven't been to Kenya or Nairobi, but I heard that Nairobi was more developed. But like I said, I haven't been there. Kenyans living in Nairobi live much higher quality of life than most of the U.S. cities. Yeah, I thought Ghana was a high quality of life. It was definitely a healthier quality of life. I noticed my first 10 days there that my skin stayed moisturized, oily. Like, and it wasn't oily, but it was just moist and soft. We didn't have to put on no lotion, no shea butter, nothing. I remember asking one of my sisters, I said, have you noticed that your skin is moist? And she said, yeah. So this lady in at One Africa, the resort we stayed at, she said that your skin is moist because all of the oils from the coconut trees or something to that effect. She said that is in the air and it attaches to your skin. But I didn't have to use shea butter or nothing. It was a rare occasion I had to use shea butter on my skin. Now I'm over here and I'm ashy and I have to use it every single day, a couple times a day. Again, any comments or question? The floor is open. If you would like to come up, click the link in the chat. Okay, the link is in the chat again. Again, any comments or questions? Any comments or questions about African men versus American men, or the fact that Ghanaians, well, they specifically said Africans are not civilized, but I can only speak on Ghanaians because that's the only African country that I've been to and lived in. Any comments or questions? Does anybody know if I can share this live? I don't know. I don't see a share button, but does anybody know? I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Chemisphere. It is 8:24 p.m. here in Fresno, California, Pacific Standard Time. Actually, I think we're off daylight savings. We're on standard time now. So again, the link is in the chat. Any comments or questions? We are, for the people that just came in the room, we're talking about the difference in African American men and African men and American men, and we're also talking about how a lot of Americans feel like Africans are uncivilized, dirty, dusty. They're animals. Like, they literally was on this chat calling Africans animals, and it's just horrible for me to see how judgmental we are, especially people that have never been to the continent, that just have so much to say about what they've only seen on TV. And I going to Ghana, I realized what we saw on TV was not the truth, and a lot of what I was taught in school wasn't the truth. Again, any comments or questions? The floor is open. And oh shoot, yeah, I'm struggling here. I usually have my moderator up here. I really don't know how to work this thing. So again, any comments or questions, anything you want to talk about other than the subject at hand, let me know.